Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Russ Riesinger.
And I'm Jeanelle Slade. A long-anticipated announcement believed to be coming now closer to reality.
Republican Congressman Greg Gianforte preparing to enter the 2020 race for Montana governor, his second attempt for the position.
Our chief political reporter Mike Dennison has more on this development and what it means for not only the governor's contest, but also other races next year.
It's no secret that U.S. Representative Greg Gianforte has been thinking about getting into the 2020 Montana governor's race. But now we've learned he's telling fellow Republicans he plans to formally announce his candidacy soon, and that he's prepared to spend several $1 million of his personal wealth on the campaign. Gianforte's entrance would make a crowded GOP primary even more crowded. 3 other Republicans, Attorney General Tim Fox, State Senator Al Olszewski of Kalispell, and Secretary of State Corey Stapleton are already in the race. The governor's seat will be open next year because term limits prevent Governor Steve Bullock from running for a 3rd term. No Democrat has jumped into the governor's race yet, although Lieutenant Governor Mike Cooney and House Minority Leader Casey Schreiner of Great Falls are considering it. Gianforte's entry into the gubernatorial race also would open up the 2020 contest for his U.S. House seat. Democrat Kathleen Williams of Bozeman, who ran against Gianforte last year and lost, has already launched her 2020 campaign for the seat. And State Democratic Representative Tom Winter of Missoula is in the race too. Republican State Auditor Matt Rosendale also may consider the House race, and if he gets in, the auditor's seat would become open. Gianforte is the co-founder of a Bozeman software development firm that was sold in 2014 for $1.8 billion. He wouldn't comment directly Tuesday about his 2020 plans, but a spokesman said Gianforte has been getting encouragement from many Montanans about running for governor and that he'll announce a decision in the coming weeks. Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
Thanks, Mike. Now, Gianforte lost the 2016 governor's race to Steve Bullock and has since twice won election as congressman for Montana.
All right, we want to turn to the weather now. Bob, the skies may have cleared up, but that's not eliminating some flood warnings around the region.
Yeah, that's the problem because we've had so much rain, the ground is just very, very soggy. And so let me show you on the Doppler radar, most of the rain that was in here last night and the day before, it's all moved down into Wyoming. So this stuff is actually starting to move away. But take a look at this. As we zoom down in here, we still have in Sheridan County, Wyoming, flood warning there until 12:30 Wednesday. Basically, the creeks are still on the rise there, even though the rain has stopped. Kind of the same thing over there in Bighorn County, Montana. That stays with us until about 7:15 tonight. Once again, all the creeks are starting to rise there. We also have a flood watch. This is basically on the Tongue River near Bernie. This is seeing water there is not at flood stage, but it's expected to get there before the next couple of days is over with. Meanwhile, a little farther up the road here, you can see over there by Melstone, we have a flood warning there. Petroleum County, all the rivers and streams are in the rise there. Also, we have a flood warning on the by Shaman on the Musselshell River. Then one more place over here up in the northwest corner of the state. Until further notice, rivers and streams there have peaked, but they are still above flood stage and expected to go down probably in a few more days. We'll have more in your forecast coming up in a few more minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Bob. Well, the Beartooth Pass did open before the Memorial Day holiday, but spring storms forced crews to close the scenic roadway again this morning. Now, thankfully, temperatures are warming up this week, and there's hope that the road will fully open again soon. MTN's Curtis Grevnitz has an outlook.
Smooth sailing up the Beartooth Highway. Once again, the Montana Department of Transportation did excellent work to get the famous highway open for Memorial Day weekend. Crews had a typical amount of snow to clear from the winter, but the last several weeks had several storms that dropped fresh feet of snow. The last of the new accumulation was Friday morning. Warmer temperatures and sunshine made for beautiful conditions for sightseers and skiers, but there was a hidden danger that was about to rear its ugly head. As the temperatures warmed and the strong sun angle beat down on the snow surface, that snow began to move. Active avalanches were everywhere, with several new slides even crossing the recently opened road. The Rock Creek Headwall, a popular destination for backcountry skiers, had less skiers than normal, which is a good thing, as most of the avalanche paths in this location were active with wet slough slides. The avalanche conditions are now stabilizing, but more snow on the ground means more melting, which could create conditions for rock slides in the near future. And with a deep snow in place, the highest road in Montana will stay very wintry looking well into summer. And now you're a little more weather-wise.
Well, 13 bicyclists were stranded on going to the Sun Road in Glacier National Park after an avalanche yesterday. MTN's Maren Sue spoke with one of them and shares his experience.
Now, if you're thinking of hopping on your bike on this road and heading up any farther, you may want to think twice.
With sliding, you could just see it move, and there was a slide every several minutes. A big slide would come down.
This is the sliding Richard Bridges is talking about. Bridges was one of 13 bikers trapped by an avalanche on going to the Sun Road for 5 hours. Lauren Alley with the park says this incident is uncommon, and the mistake Bridges made was descending from Logan Pass later in the day. She says with warmer weather, avalanche danger increases.
If you start to see what we call roller balls or snowballs coming down the mountain, or if you see fresh snow on the road, or certainly if snow is crossing the road, time to call it a day.
Unsafe for bikers to cross over the snow. Alley says it took park crews 8 hours to reach the stranded bikers and plow a path for them to ride down.
They said they were going to bring up a loader, and it was already parked up there. They had been working on that part of the road, so the Park Service was great.
It was nighttime before Bridges returned safely to the parking lot. But this incident won't stop him from riding going to the Sun Road again.
I think I'm going to ride next weekend again.
Lauren Alley with the park does have some suggestions for those wanting to bike going to the Sun Road. Starting earlier in the day, folks can potentially avoid warming snow conditions, which could trigger avalanches on the famous Going to the Sun Road. In Glacier National Park, Maren Sue, MTN News.
And park officials say June 22nd is the earliest that road will be completely open to vehicle traffic.
Well, the Miss Montana landed in Duxford, England just before 8 a.m. Montana time today. Now, the crew completed that journey from Montana across the U.S. and then the North Atlantic in just over a week.
Plane ran flawlessly. Crew worked well together, and weather cooperated after an initial hiccup there getting out of Connecticut. But yeah, it's just sort of surreal to think that after all this time, we made it here. So, yeah, there's 11 other planes here, I think, and 3 or 4 more coming. So we're meeting the other crews and planning to go out and have an evening with some of the other crews tonight.
Now, the crew completed the transatlantic crossing Monday, landing in Scotland after following the Blue Spruce route, that historic path which allowed the old planes to make gas stops by fueling up in Greenland and Iceland. Douglas says it was great to finish the trip ahead of schedule after being the tail end Charlie of the historic group of planes, and says it would not have been possible without the financial and moral support back here in Montana.
We were probably had as much notoriety as anybody because of the heavy lift we had to get here, and so they were all thrilled. In fact, we got to the field, and the tower requested that we do a low flyby.
Now, next week, the restored plane and her sister aircraft will drop dozens of jumpers over the beach at Normandy. It will commemorate the 75th anniversary of the paratroopers who were key to the 1944 D-Day battle.
The 2019 high school year is coming to a close, and so is the last chapter of one Skyview teacher's career. Q2's Zoe Zandor tells us who's putting down their chalk after 35 years.
I was tutoring a friend of mine who went to med school. He said, "Mike, you're really good at tutoring." Oh, well, I never really considered that.
35 years ago, what started as a tutoring job for a friend turned into over 3 decades of a science teacher career for Mike Walls. The journey started with student teaching at Riverside. Walls was then tapped to go to West High School with Ron Nisler as the principal in 1984. He then made the move to Skyview High School in 1989 and has been there ever since.
Well, I was brought up in the space race, so it was the sciences for sure.
Through his 35 years of teaching, he says one of the biggest things he's learned is that it's important to support the parents.
They would like a little bit more guidance in terms of how to handle kids, bring up kids, and how to motivate kids. So we guide parents the best we can, because the teacher said.
One of his favorite things he's been able to teach students through his curriculum over the years is passing on the information and getting them to understand the world in a more holistic idea.
Understanding how to bring in stories from other areas, and the kids look at you and go, well, we're doing biology, we're not talking about earth science, but earth science fits in there. We're talking about earth science, but it also fits into physics or chemistry. So it's fun to see them go, oh, yeah, okay, I get it now.
And the students have taught Walls a thing or two along the way.
Being kind, calming down, and trying to get the most and the best out of them. And sometimes that's a challenge.
So what's next for Walls?
I would like to continue swim coaching. I'm the head swim coach here. I am a Boy Scout volunteer and support my colleagues, support my community in the best way I can.
In Billings, Zoe Zandora, MTN News.
Well, Zoe says that Walls and his wife have already traveled to all 50 states, so next they want to see the 7 wonders of the world.
Coming up on tonight's 5:30 News, telemedicine is changing the face of healthcare, but getting it to Montana has its own challenges. Next, a look at an effort to change that.
And later in sports, we show you why Friday's annual Legion game against cancer has become much more meaningful for the players.
You're watching MTN News with Jeanelle Slade and Russ Riesinger, Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire, and sports with Scott Green. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.